matches, so they've left the door open for SAFC here because of their tailspin in these last couple months of the regular season.
So what you're saying is there's a chance anybody can be beaten on any given day. So between that and a prayer, it's going to take a lot for San Antonio, and it's going to be tough with this Louisville City attack with Wilson Harris there up top.
81 goals for Louisville City this season. Wilson Harris leads them with 17. He's second in the Golden Boot race behind the great Nick Markanek from Charleston. 66 career goals, youngest to get to 50 in USL Championship history. And a guy who's going to certainly have his hands full with him is Kendall Burks on the other side for San Antonio, who leads USL in clearances. And he's been SAFC's Ironman, Katie. He's played in every match this year.
San Antonio is absolutely going to need their Mr. Reliable in Kendall Burks here tonight. But what is it going to take for them to beat this #1 team in the East to make sure they get these 3 points and then, try to fight another top 4 team in the East in the following game?
They just need to play with a sense of urgency right from the opening kickoff. They've conceded in the first couple of minutes here in the last couple of outings here at home, which is very unlike San Antonio FC. They showed some urgency on this recent trip in El Paso and Colorado Springs. Got to bring that right from the start of kickoff tonight if they want to have a chance against the best team in the league.
Well, like we said, anything can happen. It's the teams who love early and late goals, so stick around through the final whistle. Up next, we've got starting 11s and kick on the other side. We're midway through October, and while the temps are dropping, things are heating up here at Toyota Field. Playoffs are imminent, and we've got a familiar battle from the East and the West. San Antonio FC taking on Louisville FC right here in San Antonio. Katie Goodman here, joined alongside Dan White. Monitors aren't on. I don't know if we needed them.
No, yeah, they'll come on.
When you shop or donate at Goodwill, you help create good jobs in our community. Visit goodwillsa.org/
We're midway through October, and while the temps are dropping, things are heating up here at Toyota Field. Playoffs are imminent, and we've got a familiar battle from the East and the West. San Antonio FC taking on Louisville FC right here in San Antonio. Katie Goodman here, joined alongside Dan Weiss. Dan, Louisville City, they've punched their ticket. They've got the player shield, but San Antonio still fighting for their lives right now.
Yeah, Louisville City, a chance to be the best all-time team in USL history, but San Antonio FC, they're on the outside of the playoff picture, trying to get in for the 5th consecutive season as we look at the Western Conference table. 3 points below the playoff line, 5 teams battling for the last 4 spots in the final 2 Saturdays. And for San Antonio FC, their tragic number, their elimination number is 4. Any combination of points lost and points gained by Oakland equaling 4 eliminates SAFC. They do hold the tiebreaker over Roots, though. It's a club that has just 1 win in their last 9 matches, so they've left the door open for SAFC here because of their tailspin in these last couple months of the regular season.
So what you're saying is there's a chance anybody can be beaten on any given day. So between that and a prayer, it's going to take a lot for San Antonio, and it's going to be tough with this Louisville City attack with Wilson Harris there up top.
81 goals for Louisville City this season. Wilson Harris leads them with 17. He's second in the Golden Boot race behind the great Nick Marcanek from Charleston. 66 career goals, youngest to get to 50 in USL Championship history. And a guy who's going to certainly have his hands full with him is Kendall Burks on the other side for San Antonio, who leads USL in clearances. And he's been SAFC's Ironman, Katie. He's played in every match this year.
San Antonio is absolutely going to need their Mr. Reliable in Kendall Burks here tonight. But what is it going to take for them to beat this #1 team in the East to make sure they get these 3 points and then, try to fight another top 4 team in the East in the following game?
They just need to play with a sense of urgency right from the opening kickoff. They've conceded in the first couple of minutes here in the last couple of outings here at home, which is very unlike San Antonio FC. They showed some urgency on this recent trip in El Paso and Colorado Springs. Got to bring that right from the start of kickoff tonight if they want to have a chance against the best team in the league.
Well, like we said, anything can happen. It's the teams who love early and late goals, so stick around through the final whistle. Up next, we've got starting 11s and kick on the other side.
When you shop or donate at Goodwill, you help create good jobs in our community. Visit goodwillsa.org/goodjob. Good job, everyone.
Dear Texas, we know how much you love brisket. We got you. We took mouth-watering brisket, slowly pit smoked for 12 hours, and combined it with your favorite queso and pico. And so, H-E-B Brisket Queso was born. Because that's how we express our love. Looks like you got the message. Brisket Queso. To Texas with love from H-E-B.
All my favorites for just $7 each? That's crazy. Or am I crazy?
Seeing sevens? It's a sign to order from Pizza Hut's $7 Deal Lovers menu.
Who can tell me what they want to be when they grow up? Rico?
Are you seriously gonna have nachos for all?
I'm gonna be late.
Sorry.
And drive safe out there as there's plenty of traffic heading to today's big game. Ready to go.
You almost missed the start of the game.
Right now, qualified buyers get 2.99% APR financing for 72 months on a rugged new 2024 Tundra. Offer ends November 4th.
When you shop or donate at Goodwill, you help create good jobs in our community. Visit goodwillsa.org/goodjob. Good job, everyone.
It's the perfect soccer weather tonight. It's every soccer player's dream. It's cracked below 80s. It's 79 degrees. I'd say that's pretty chilly here in Texas. San Antonio FC looking to defend their home turf, keep their unbeaten streak alive over the last 3 games. Playoffs aren't guaranteed, but still a possibility. And again, familiar foes in Louisville City FC. San Antonio took the loss last season, but the win in the final. The question is, how are things going to play out here tonight? Now we're taking a look here at the starting 11 for both sides. San Antonio FC missing Juan Agudela, Agudelo, Trovaboni, and Burra also won't be available. Good thing Kendall Burks is back in the lineup. Again, Mr. Reliable is really going to be a big deal here for San Antonio, and it's just a team that's been riddled with injury, but they have persevered time and time again. A different lineup every single game. And speaking of different lineups, Louisville City FC has 8 different changes this week versus the last. They've decided to rest some players. They'd rather save up for Phoenix, make sure that they're good going into playoffs. But you've still got the talented Sharpie. It's going to be his 200th experience. Ordonez as well there on the back line to help hold things down.
Yeah, so I guess there's 2 ways to look at it. If you're a San Antonio FC fan and a USL Championship fan, you only get to see Louisville City one time, maybe every couple of years, or you might be a little disappointed because you're not seeing their top team on the field to start. But if you're the players, San Antonio FC, and you have 44 goals that are sitting on the bench to start tonight's game, you might feel a little bit better about your chances here tonight.
That's right. Sounds like a prayer answered if you're a San Antonio fan. Again, Katie Goodman here along with Dan Weiss and our entire crew. Thank you for joining us here this evening. SAFC here in their home red, Louisville here in the white and gold. We've got a bit of confusion here on the field. Nelson Flores Blanco asked to take a few steps back before making that throw in.
If you talk to Alan Marcina and you told him that he would have come off this recent trip with 4 points, he would have gladly taken it. They took the scenic route, though, to get to those 4 points because they had a 2-0 lead late in El Paso and gave up 2 goals in the final quarter hour of the match. And then they fell behind 1-0 in Colorado Springs, and it looked like they were left for dead. And they come up with 2 goals of their own in the second half and come away with a 13th consecutive unbeaten match against Colorado Springs dating back to 2019.
Really a hard team to predict, no doubt. Never know what they're going to do. Looks like we've got Carlos Mogul Jr. here for the set piece. Bit of hesitation. Cleared out there by Mitch Tainter. Put back in again by Louisville City. No good. It's Machob Scholl out in front. Can he get guys in ahead? Lucho making the run. He's there for the diagonal and doing well to come off his line. Damian Loss, incredible player as well from Des Plaines, Illinois. He's on loan from Austin FC so far. 71 saves, 63.4% success rate. Actually, was the MLS Next Pro Goalkeeper of the Year, a guy they are happy to have in their lineup.
Nice job by SAFC on that counterattack to get an early chance. Flag stays down as Lucho stays onside. Well read by the keeper, Damian Loss, coming off his line. Prevent an opportunity. It started on the first chance by Sam Gleadle, the former SAFC wingback. His shot didn't get through. Gleadle has seen a shift in position. He was primarily a wingback and a defender in his time in San Antonio back in 2021. Since he's joined Louisville this year, they've turned him into a forward. And he's thrived in that position, and an early yellow card here.
You seem to see that a lot more and more in especially men's professional soccer. You have defenders who were typically forwards and then defenders who move into the forward position. Really, it's required that every single player on the field can put it away. And you know that's the case there with Louisville City. 14 guys with goals under their belt. Talk about just versatility.
Toch goes into the books here in just the 4th minute. A little bit of a shoulder there on Jorge Hernandez. Maybe a little bit harsh. See the referee pull the yellow early. Abdu Endire, center referee here tonight, but certainly saying he's not going to take any funny business here right from the start of the match.
Sean Toch, such an incredible player. Definitely not someone that you would want to lose to a double yellow moving into the next game against Phoenix. 7 goals and 3 assists, even as an outside back.
Yeah, where they get their goals from is remarkable. I mean, you have a defender who's got 7 goals. You got another wingback in Jake Morris who's got 5 goals. I mean, when you have 81 goals as a team, you obviously have to spread them around. But they do it better than any club in USL. And that's why I think, when you take a look at this club as a whole and the season they've had as a whole, they're very much in the conversation for the best USL Championship team of all time. They have a shot in these next 2 weeks to tie or even perhaps have the most wins ever in single-season history. 3 clubs have had 24 in USL Championship history, including San Antonio FC, who had 24 wins back in 2022.
So then it begs the question, what do you think of making 8 different changes, bringing in the bench, even bringing academy players onto the bench?
Personally, as simply just a commentator, I don't love it. You know, I understand as that shot goes awry. I think you want to keep your team playing consistently down the stretch. And I was a little bit surprised because there's 9 players on this Louisville roster that were in the 18 in the championship final back in 2022 when San Antonio FC dominated that match to a 3-1 win. I kind of thought that Danny Cruz and Louisville City would want a little bit of redemption and perhaps maybe put the nail in the coffin of San Antonio FC's season by putting out their best lineup, but obviously they're going to hold off tonight, maybe use next Saturday night at home against Phoenix as their dress rehearsal for the playoffs.
I feel like, in a way, it could possibly jeopardize their rhythm, too. I mean, you're in the final 2 games of season. You don't want to give too much rest to these guys who have really started connecting well as San Antonio begins to maintain possession, build into the attack. The combination there between Jorge Hernandez and Nelson Flores Blanco, almost telepathic at times, works so well together on that side. San Antonio staying patient, just trying to find that seam in. But Louisville City just doing great stuff there to stand them up.
Now, the one thing about Louisville City is for as much as they score, they'll give up goals too. They've conceded 40 times this year.
Lucky for them, they've got some goal scorers all over the field who can really make up for it.
Well, they're plus 41 in goal differential, which is simply absurd. And to make the point of how absurd that is, their goal differential is 7 goals more than San Antonio FC has scored for the entire season.
Oh, my goodness.
But on the flip side, you've now got 3 consecutive matches for SAFC with multiple goals. Remember, they went 10 consecutive matches without scoring more than a single goal. So they've found their attack here in these last 3 matches, and that should give them a little bit of confidence because on most nights it felt like they were getting 1 at best.
Right. I think, at one point they had 14 losses. That was the most in a single season. 4 defeats at home, also tied for most in a season. Longest losing streak ever there. And for them to be able to turn it around, and you've also seen it in the middle of the game as well. They're down a couple goals and they fight back. But then on the flip side, they also have been conceding goals despite being up. San Antonio continues to stay patient as they move forward. A little bit high in the corner there. Is he going to get it? And he's just not there in time.
Yeah, to that point, Katie, San Antonio FC, they have dropped 22 points from winning positions this year. That is the most in the USL. And on the other side, Louisville City has gained 20 points from a losing position, and that is also the most in the USL. So you've got a club that's extremely resilient in Danny Cruz's club, and I mean a phenomenal culture that he's put in place ever since taking over as the head coach 4 years ago. That's going to play the advantage there.
Interesting. Usually a ref will call it after that if he sees the advantage doesn't work, but play on.
Now I'm surprised with the jersey tug there and a pretty blatant one by Nelson Flores Blanco that Flores Blanco gets away without going into the books, and I think that's what Danny Cruz is asking the 4th official right now. Pretty blatant tug of the jersey there by Nelson Flores Blanco, and even though they play the advantage, they didn't settle it back and probably issue a caution, which is surprising because there's already been a precedent set of an early caution in the opening minutes.
Right, and understandable, though, trying to stop his movement into the attack. Jansen Wilson, 9 goals so far. A young guy, previously at Belmont University, trained with the team for a couple of seasons, and then decided to move on to the roster from Elizabethtown, Kentucky, getting his extra start here today.
The one thing about Louisville is that they're so clinical They take a little bit, as you watch them, out of San Antonio's playbook. They play direct. They press both on and off the ball. And it's regardless of who's on the field. You could have a little bit of an up-and-down match with them.
Excellent pass from Lambert into the corner. Great work there from Reese, trying to force that corner. San Antonio early on, you could see acting as the aggressor, something that they love to do. But I think maybe something that might have bit them in the behind a couple of games ago. I think teams picked up that there was a gap in the back, were able to make the counter, gave up a couple early goals, but seemed to have really closed things down here.
I like their start. They've come out ready to challenge. They've come out thinking attack first, and they need all 3 points.
Jorge Hernandez puts it in. Kindleberg's almost there on the end of it. Couldn't quite get behind it the way he needed to.
That's a great service from Jorge Hernandez on that set piece over there on the far side. And what a ball. Kendall Burks was in the perfect position, just directs it wide to the keeper, Damian Loss.
Like clockwork, looks like something they may have practiced in training. Just better defending there, getting Kendall off his feet on that one. You can see here both teams going with a compact approach, overloading that right side of the field. Good win there from Carter Manley.
Yeah, and it was interesting, you know, with Louisville City, one of the things that I think San Antonio FC was really going to have to focus on, and I'm sure they did before seeing who was playing tonight, was the way that Louisville City overloads on the right side with Aiden McFadden and Taylor Davila. I mean, is as dangerous as any club. Is foul here on Burks will set up a set piece, but they go up that right flank as good as anyone in the USL. Obviously, without McFadden and Davila tonight, but still a pretty promising wingback there in Jansen Wilson, who can cause a lot of damage.
Also have Jake Morris there on the other side. 5 goals, 5 assists under his belt. Set piece for Louisville City. Pablo Cisniega forced to come out. Sticky gloves.
As Arturo Odonia is getting forward, he was brought over from Pittsburgh Riverhounds. He was the defender of the year last year in the USL and on the All USL Championship first team. What an addition he's been. They've just pressed all the right buttons, Katie. They've gotten the right players. Ordonez from Pittsburgh, Davila from RGV, Aiden McFadden from Atlanta United. I mean, some years it just all comes together, like it did for San Antonio when they had all their exceptional loans 2 years ago in winning the title. The stars aligned for them that year, and I mean, right now, at least to this point, the stars have aligned through the first 32 weeks for Lou City.
They've done so much so well. I mean, it's understandable why they have the players shield. Really very few mistakes, and even with what you would consider some of their bench out here starting tonight, it's really an exceptional performance. As they begin to build into the attack, almost finding the seam. Mitch Tainer makes the step. Ball still loose. What can they do with it? Looking like an open spot here. Mogul gives the go. San Antonio just smothering there in the attack. And shots fired. No good. Great job bringing it down there. That's Philip Goodrum, the guy that you don't want to have the ball in the 18, but cleared again there for Mitch Tainer.
Yeah, that's the one guy I think that San Antonio FC's got to have their eyes on tonight. Philip Goodrum, who came over on a transfer from Tulsa back in August and had 5 goals in Tulsa, including one here against San Antonio back earlier in the summer. It's a good chance there, but Mitchell Tainer with a nice recovery. It's like the rich get richer when you can add a guy like Philip Goodrum,
right,
and he's on your second team, so to speak.
Right, that's really the crazy part about it. It's a team that's so good that really their bench could be a top 3-4 team as well.
It was the first really good sequence for Lou City. You can start to see they're getting a little bit more comfortable playing with each other. I got to believe this 11 has never played with each other in any match this season. And so I figured it was going to probably take him at least 15 minutes to kind of figure it out. But that's how good Danny Cruz and his system is that even throwing an 11 out there that hasn't played with each other all season, they can still find their rhythm and still find some chemistry even after just 1/4 hour.
I mean, that's got to be tough as well because you have so much riding on your shoulders as well. You have a championship team who's won 11 of the last 14 games, 81 goals in this club. You got to show up and perform so that you also have a chance that when you do make it into the playoffs, you're also in that starting position. The beauty of soccer, anyone can start any day, but Lucho on a break here. Defended and picked up by Damian Las.
As again, Ordonez came over and impeded Solignac from getting any further, and they're pretty stout back there with that back three with Ordonez and Tosh. And it's Ordonez this time. Nice challenge as he wins the ball away.
Ordonez, an absolute veteran specialist there on the center back line. As Kendall Burks heads it back to Pablo Cisniega, not taking any chances there. Starting to slow down the game, it seems. Trying to find some open seams. San Antonio really spreading the field here. As he shakes his head, tries to send it forward. Choke Scholl has all the height on him. Doesn't quite win the 50-50. Nelson Flores Blanco going in. Cleats up, though. Surprised there wasn't a call there. Mitch Tainer there to clear it. Lucho looking for the back flick. It's just still no good. Lou City, I think what I'm seeing here is they seem really composed under pressure, able to build out of the back, even despite San Antonio's onslaught of pressure.
Yeah, and they have a system, and it's pretty impressive to watch. And it's, again, they're not fielding their best team tonight, and yet they're still pretty clinical in everything that they're doing right now.
It seems cultural, and that's really nice when you can have that as a coach, that everyone is stepping up to a really high standard despite where they're playing. It's a next man up mentality, so to speak.
I think a lot of people were surprised to find out that this was their first Players' Shield since they came into an existence 10 years ago. They've made the playoffs every single year they've been in the USL Championship.
And as a reminder, still just one win away from having the most wins in their season and the USL Championship history, a title that SCFC currently holds. They would be tied with San Antonio on that with 24 wins if they win tonight, which would make you think that that would be enough in itself. But I think it speaks to the trust that Coach Cruz has here in his lineup.
Well, I think also, too, he's getting a look at who his options are going to be once he goes to the playoffs. He knows his 11, but then he's got to figure out what are his tactical moves going to be when he goes to his bench in the second half. And, I appreciate that from a head coach, too. You want to see what all your options are. At the same time, you're going to give some of your gunners a rest who have played their hearts out and have logged a lot of minutes this year. But, I mean, what a job Danny Cruz has done. 34 years of age, 76, 31, and 24 since taking over back in 2021.
It's his fourth season as head coach, started as an assistant in 2018. This season, a club-high 23 wins, as we'd mentioned, could be 24, has led the team to 3 straight conference finals. Also had a really impressive professional career, 9 years pro in the MLS, as well as the USL Championship. So you can see how he brings that caliber of experience here to the field.
Yeah, and there were some rumors in the middle of the MLS season that he was a candidate for the vacancy in St. Louis City. I think he's got certainly an MLS head coaching future very shortly ahead of him.
I'm sure it's hard to leave such a winning team, though. I mean, I guess if you're a really good coach, you're going to be winning anywhere you go, as long as you've got the right personnel, of course. It's a nice ball fed through there from Louisville City, Niall McCabe. From Dublin, Ireland, played for Chattanooga FC prior to this. Has rep Lou City in every single season of its existence, the longest tenured player in the club and in the league.
Yeah, 10 years with Louisville City. Although surprisingly has not played in their most regular season matches. That's Sean Toch. This is his 227th USL match with Lou City. Niall McCabe appearing in his 220th Louisville City match.
He's the tried and true steady presence there.
He's a little slow to get up.
Have to see what happened here with Luis Solignac. Of course, you had Nelson Flores Blanco trying to take that shot anyway. Not a bad look from distance. But Lucho, a guy who battled injury really early on, missed so much of the season. And since he's come back, he's been so productive, so clinical in the attack. Hate to see his face wincing like that. He's really had to overcome so much just to get back on the field.
Yeah, I think he was in an aerial duel there with Arturo Ordonez, and I think Ordonez kind of just went, and you can see him kind of favoring his lower back. I think Ordonez just kind of went through his lower back a little bit on that aerial duel, and I think that's where the collision happened.
Lucho making his way to SAFC from El Paso Locomotive, has 6 goals on the season, has scored in every away game and in the last 3 games here for San Antonio. So, of course, things just starting to heat up. But for him, it is going to be about pushing through that injury. Both teams not easily settling things down. A clearance there from Louisville City, which hopes Scholl to put it back into play.
Yeah, both these clubs play direct. I mean, this is not going to be a 1-0 match. I mean, it's 2 clubs that they like to get after it on the attacking end. I think the difference for San Antonio FC this year is that they just haven't had the horses to be, you know, as promising an attacking club as they've been in previous years, but it doesn't change that that's the style that they want to play.
They continue to push forward either way as Reese tries to find his way through. Closed down really quickly here from Louisville City, building out of the back. Luke Hawkinson not making it easy. Clearance made there from Louisville City. The question is, when are they going to bring this down, settle things, find some possession? Looks like that's what's happening here.
Both these clubs are in the bottom third of possession in USL, 47% aside. And that's kind of part of the direct style of both teams, is that neither of them really like to settle and knock it around in the back very much.
I think both really hoping to get out in transition and key moments. It's the benefit of running a direct style. You can get back in it. What a great ball in and through. Philip Goodwin not able to get to it. Mitch Tainer with one heck of a step to see that one out.
Yeah, it's another good recovery by Tainer. And again, he's got his eyes on Philip Goodrum tonight. That's his assignment. And Tainer's done well with him here in the first couple of times that Goodrum's had a chance here. This is just another good ball on the drop-off there. Tainer, well done on his recovery. Sam Gleadle, you've seen the creativity from Sam that you saw in his time here in San Antonio back in 2021. Not a lot of pace on that one from Solignac, and he knows he could have done better with that at the top of the box.
Right, I mean, I think maybe had he taken an extra touch right in front and put some power behind it, might have been good, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's not going to work here against Louisville City FC, excuse me. They're just having to look back at that easy collection there for Damian Loss. But yes, you can see how well that Sam Gleadle and Philip Goodrum work together up top. They've had a couple of combinations that have been really dangerous, kind of overloading that right side. Jansen Wilson here taking over. Sends that to Niall McCabe. He drives it forward, sends it wide. Jake Morris has the ball here. Chips it in. Cleared there from Mitch. Mitch not taking any chances. Pablo Cisniega decides to stay on his line there.
And again, they were trying to search out Philip Goodrum.
Good turnover and win here from San Antonio FC. Looking for the quick switch. They did that a couple of times in the last game. Really worked to their advantage. Not enough power on that one, though. They continue this high press mentality, trying to close down that strong ball side.
It's a good win by Hawkinson.
Chope in the corner. Finds a seam, commits the defender. Is anyone there to receive it? Nope, it's clear. Still another chance here, not out of danger yet. Jorge Hernandez, trickiest guy, assist leader. doing a great job here to keep things moving, but well read there from Jensen Wilson. It's a foot race here between Mitch, Sam Gleedle. Mitch doing well to get on the end of that, but a bit of a dangerous pass.
Former teammates, Mitch Daner, Sam Gleedle.
Lots of domination on the right side of the field is what it's looking like. Maybe not domination, but definitely favoring the right side of the field, I think, if you are Louisville City. Looking for backside, and a flick on, and it's Gleedle, but it's over. Excuse me, Goodrum, but it's over.
Yeah, and again, just that's well set up by Evan Davila, a guy who hasn't played since early August. But again, it's the rookie Jansen Wilson, who you can see the talent. He sets up the ball there for Davila at the top of the box, and the little flick over to Philip Goodrum. You just give him, all he needs is a little bit of space to get a shot opportunity. And 46 goals in his USL career for Philip Goodrum.
Yeah, really quick trigger there. Did not hesitate at all in the least.
And that was set up by, a rare giveaway in possession by Jorge Hernandez on the other end of the field. But you don't see that from Jorge very often when he's in the attacking formation.
Mitch here having to run it down, show it out. Great composure there. Mitch having a game for himself. Reese Buckmaster not able to hold it. Ref's going to call it. Looks like a bit of a body check from behind.
And Morris thought he had a clean challenge there, but too much of the body there. Yeah, too much of the body on Reese Buckmaster, not enough of the ball.
Nice shoulder into the shoulder blades. Allow San Antonio to reset. Going back to Philip Goodrum at Memphis 901, had 21 goals, was all-league first team. Has spent a lot of time at a couple different USL Championship teams, but such a really incredible player. Good to see him getting all the starting minutes here tonight. And despite being well advanced in the season where a lot of coaches are starting to finalize their rosters and their starting 11, it really is good to see Coach Cruz do this kind of thing, to see, what he's got here on the bench, and then maybe some of your starters, see if they're hot off the bench or not.
Yeah, again, he's thinking tactically. And Toch is going to win the foul away from Jorge Hernandez. Careful, Jorge. Yeah, and he gets a pointing to from Abdu Ndai. Again, we've seen Jorge sent off for dissent this summer here at Toyota Field, and he's the last guy that SAFC can afford to lose in a must-win match.
Absolutely, and he's giving his all here. He's always going to be aggressive no matter what. I think, sometimes when you're in the middle of it, you black out a bit, and all you see is red and the ball.
He's going to be in the eyes of the referee to the remainder of the match. Jorge missed the match in Colorado Springs and got a card accumulation suspension.
Win there from San Antonio. Oh, miscommunication, but it's good. They salvage it. Lucho under pressure. It's got to be tricky. This time looks like Jorge Hernandez is going to get the call in his favor. Hawkinson with words for the ref.
Nice Toch again. He's already sitting on a yellow.
Yeah, definitely going to have to mind his P's and Q's moving on here throughout the rest of this game. Again, just not something you want to risk. I think another reason why Coach Cruz has sat a lot of the players that he has, doesn't want to risk injury, doesn't want to risk card accumulation, especially for Kyle Adams, who is already in the danger zone had he been in this game, so he did not travel this time. Lou City continues to move the ball around. San Antonio just can't seem to find that connecting piece there up top. Turnover here for San Antonio. He dribbles at the defense. It's Reese Buckmaster with the shot, and it goes just wide of the post.
That's a giveaway by Wes Charpie, and he's fortunate right there that SAFC doesn't do more with that opportunity. Mashok Chol in the attack. along with Reese Buckmaster.
And really great composure. Great job getting wide and looking for it. Just a little bit shy there. But I think enough of a stress test here for Louisville City to really get them on their toes. Clearance there from Kendall Burks, Mr. Reliable, who we talked about earlier. Kevin Lambert here to take this set piece. Has been such a key spot there in the defensive center midfielder role. You can really feel when he is not on the field, has had to miss a few games, whether it be from injury or from international duty.
Yeah, and the number of man games lost to injury for the San Antonio FC club is staggering, and it's a big part of the story of their season. And I know Alan Marcina doesn't like to use it as a crutch or an excuse, but a lot of times for him this year, it's just come down to player availability, whether it's been because of injury or because of the international window and the number of players that have gone up and played for their country in the weeks that the international window has been in play here over the course of the season. And that's why SAFC has just had so many different lineups that they've had to use over the course of the year. It's been tough to find consistency.
Tough, but they have learned to adapt. I'm sure it's an experience that many of these guys have never really had on a team. It's not often that you see that many injuries happening in one season, this big of a change in lineups. So definitely something that they can add to the bowl of experience after this season. Pablo Cisniega puts it in. And defended there by Louisville City. Cameron Carter trying to get in. Carter Manley trying to get in and finish business. Manley has had a couple superhero goals here for San Antonio, scoring in really timely moments.
Well, if San Antonio FC finds a way to get into the USL playoffs, they'll look back on Manley's equalizer against Sacramento a couple of Saturdays ago, maybe as the goal that saved their season. They got behind early against Sac Republic, a team that does not concede, and SAFC didn't look like that they were going to find a way, and Carter Manley came out with a huge read to score the equalizer, and then a fortunate own goal gave him 3 points that night.
Jorge Hernandez, golden playmaker, ready to put this one in. Ball's loose in the box. Still not out of danger. Nelson Flores puts it in, and it's over. I think San Antonio is beginning to look a little antsy, maybe, in the attack, trying to force things at times.
Well,
maybe.
I would say, actually, that, while Louisville City seems a lot more organized in the final third of the field, it's actually San Antonio FC's that had the better of the chances to find the opening goal in this match. Louisville City only has one shot on target here through the first half hour.
And that's kind of the story of the season there for San Antonio. The issue hasn't been so much getting looks at the goal. A lot of times it's just finishing business there when they've got the opportunity. Sometimes that just comes with regular minutes in the game and getting a flow. I mean, think about how long it took for Luis Solignac just to start getting his goal scoring underway and scoring consistently in games. It makes you wonder how different this would be for San Antonio had he been able to start playing a little bit sooner. And lots of turnovers as well for Louisville City here. I think 3 or 4 times already in this first half. While very organized on defense, tend to hand it over there in the middle of the field. Tosh sends it forward. Good run. Chests it over to Jansen. Scrambles alive here in the middle of the field, and
that's going to put Hawkinson in the books.
That's going to be a foul. Chipped the ankles there from behind.
Yeah, late to the ball there by Luke Hawkinson, and referee was right on top of it.
Yeah, just reaching there, nowhere near the ball on that one. Sometimes it's hard to slow the momentum, but one way to settle things down is to pull out a card.
I think it'll be interesting for Danny Cruz to see how long he goes with this group together. I would say he's probably pretty pleased with what they've done here in 35 minutes. Yeah, they've conceded some chances, but really haven't given San Antonio FC very much in terms of glorious grade A scoring chances.
Really, they are handling things on defense pretty spectacularly for San Antonio, staying really compact.
And I think for them, that's how some of these guys are going to get on the field in the playoffs, is what will be their responsibility and how disciplined and responsibly they can play in their third of the field, because bottom line is that they're probably going to be in a position where they're defending leads more often than they're trying to find their way back into games.
Right. And, I did have a chance to talk to head coach Alan Marcina. He mentioned that this is going to be like a final for them, because it is. It's do or die at this moment, win or go home. And, anytime you get near playoffs, all of these games are already feeling like playoff games. Drive in is no good there from Jake Morris. Guy with 5 goals. 5 assists here on the season from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Played with Columbus Crew, actually had an MLS Cup victory when he was with the Crew in 2023 before signing with Louisville City. Dropping it all the way back here to Damian Lass. And a great challenge there from Machop Scholl. And it looks like a handball right in front of the circle. Really dangerous spot for a set piece. But man, this is the San Antonio FC mentality that Alan Marcina preaches.
His arm extended there by Machop Choi. It's a clear handball. It's a little lackadaisical on the keeper, Damian Lass, right there, and in the footsteps of Chol. And I'm sure he'll do better with that the next time he's in that position.
Yeah, sometimes you need a little heat check to remind you that just how fast some of these strikers are out here. Not to play around with it in the back. San Antonio working to bring it down, settle things, build out of the back. Lucho trying to get ahead, almost good, but Tosh there to receive it. Does such a good job of pinching in and closing things down. Again, almost a close call there for Damian Lass. I think San Antonio's picking up on it. They go head to head. It's no good. A clearance there for Damian Lass. San Antonio starts all over again.
Looked like he lost his footing trying to clear that ball out. You see he kind of rubs his cleats there.
Lucho on the end of it. It's good. Oh, nope. I'm going to call it offsides here after the fact.
It's been a wild sequence for Damian Lass. Yeah, you can see he loses his footing on the clearance, and here comes the pressure creating the turnover, and he's just able to get it ahead of Jorge Hernandez.
Yeah, just a tough couple of minutes here in run of play for Damian Lass. I think San Antonio picking up on that he doesn't react so well under pressure, continuing that ultra-high press mentality here. It feels like Louisville City at times is in a bit of a scramble. What a ball in had there been the right communication. San Antonio making the reset, noticing just how widespread San Antonio is right now. Normally a team that moves really compact both on offense and defense. I think they're just trying to find the seams here. Tosh building out of pressure, and again, could have been a good ball, just mistimed run. Machop Scholl has had a heck of a game as well. Again, a guy who you don't see him too often, but when he's called upon, does really well. Had a great early season, put a couple goals away. And there's that dynamic duo.
You start to see a little bit of the press starting to frustrate Lou City here. And again, this is a group that's not used to playing with one another. San Antonio FC trying to draw them into some mistakes and turnovers, and they've been able to do well with that here over the last few possessions. And Danny Cruz is going to bring his team together and try to settle them down a little bit, because they've been a little bit discombobulated here over the last few minutes.
And that's 100% intentional there from SAFC. Coach Marcina knew the one thing he wanted to do was really cause some chaos. As you can see, Jorge Hernandez taking a tumble there. Still down on the pitch. You can see he's trying to make his way up. Meantime, teammates getting some water and I'm sure some coaching points. A couple words there with the ref. It seems that he's always has a pretty close relationship with every ref every game, whether it be good or bad, always involved at the minimum.
Now, Katie, you touched on just what a season it's been for Lou City and just some of the accolades when you think about it. 15 home wins, it's most in USL history, 54 goals scored at home. Right now they're sitting 6 points away from tying 2019 Phoenix Rising Club for the most points ever in USL Championship history. Of course, that team won 20 straight matches, which is the most ever done by a North American soccer club. So again, that's why you start to put this club in the conversation of best ever teams in USL Championships. And I think a lot of that will probably be settled whether or not they come away with a star when all is said and done in November. If you don't, you look back and you can say, well, yeah, it was a great regular season, but it was disappointing that it didn't end with a championship. And they haven't won a championship since 2019, believe it or not, for all the success that they've had.
Right, in 9 visits to the finals, and it's almost good. Great save there from Pablo Cisniega, really just in the right place at the right time, and it's your guy, Philip Goodrum, almost successful.
Well, Cisniega's been outstanding the last couple of matches. And another nice flick on, and there's Philip Goodrum, and Cisniega able to parry that one over the crossbar. 16 saves combined in the 2 matches against El Paso and Colorado Springs last week.
Cross in here from Louisville City, but not without a couple words from the ref first, as of course we would expect.
Except Louisville City won in 2019. It was actually 2018. Their 2 titles back-to-back, 2017, 2018.
Louisville City goes short, places it right back in, and it's well defended here by San Antonio, but not out of danger. Bodies on the floor, ball in hand there for Pablo Cisniega. San Antonio really just not giving up anything here.
Yeah, nice job there by SAFC. Closing off the runners, not leaving anyone unattended. Better from Louisville City since Danny Cruz brought his crew together after Jorge Hernandez went down. A couple of good scoring opportunities as we come to the end of the opening 45 minutes.
Goal saved thanks to Reese Buckmaster, and that diving header really sacrificed his body in that moment to keep that from happening. And again, a clearance. San Antonio trying to settle, trying to go over the back line. I'm sure looking for that deep ball to dump in over the back line as well. Looked like a handball. Yep, ref's going to call it. Got his upper arm there. Anytime you're reaching over the ball, it's going to get called.
They had help of 11 referees wearing a white jersey as well, too.
Ref assistance, so to speak. Yeah. If it weren't for all these dang cameras and dang refs everywhere, probably would have got away with it. Damian Loss comes up a little higher to put this one in.
I think San Antonio FC, although pleased that it's 0-0 with Louisville City, who's so good on the attack, I think they're going to be a little bit disappointed that they didn't do more with their chances here if they go to the locker room 0-0 at the half.
Only a few minutes to go here. Might be a little bit of stoppage time added on, but doesn't feel like it's too much. San Antonio looking here for some movement, some wide open red jerseys. Lou City not really giving it to him. Lucho again in the mix.
They're going to call a foul on Solignac. The push off. He's not particularly thrilled. Neither is the SAFC crowd, as that prevents that potential buildup. This would have been a throw awarded to SAFC. Instead, it's a free kick back to the visitors. Yeah, just a little bit of a two-hand shove in the back there.
It's a good catch there, Dan. Didn't see that. Here's a deep ball in. Kendall Burks denies it. Nelson Flores Blanco again laying himself out just to, manage his side of the field. And is it just me, or does it feel like things are starting to heat up here for Louisville City?
Well, since they kind of huddled up around Danny Cruz, they've played with a little more sense of purpose here. They've kind of cleaned up some of the mistakes in the midfield. They've, I think, adjusted a little bit better San Antonio FC's press. And it's tough. It's tough to play a team like SAFC that just presses so much without the ball.
Right. I mean, they do so well off the ball in their actions, their personal, individual actions, really handling business there. We have 3 minutes of extra time, so play continues. We know these are two teams who love late goals. The drive continues here. Jensen Wilson. Kendall Burks there to defend it. Burks a couple of times this season has unfortunately had own goals a lot of times because running back to defend and make that clearance, did not make that mistake this time. Really stepping up big here for his team.
That's a good run by Evan Davila right there and setting up the attack. And trying to get the return ball from Jansen Wilson. Davila is the younger brother of Taylor Davila, who's not in the 18 tonight.
Ball's in here. And it's good. Philip Goodrum, as we would expect. A guy that you just can't give that kind of space to.
Well, again, we've talked about it, Katie. There's one guy on the field that if you're SAFC, you have to have marked at all times, and it's Philip Goodrum. And he's going to get his second goal at Toyota Field this year after scoring one with Tulsa earlier this summer. This is another great service, though, from Jake Morris. And there's Goodrum at the end of it. Just snuck a little bit away there.
Did such a great job just finding an open space in that moment, getting on the end of it. And, we talked about it. They love late goals. I think that includes extra time in the first half. And a pickle to be in here if you're San Antonio FC, but I would not count them out by any means. Come back a couple of times. They actually have 20 second half goals themselves. So let's see how they react with not much more time to go.
That's their 17th goal scored in the third quarter hour this season. Only surpassed by the 20 they score in the sixth quarter hour of a match.
And really, up until that point, they weren't given a ton of really good looks either.
Well, it always will come down to set pieces. And again, it's how you attack set pieces, it's how you defend set pieces. And there's only their second corner of the match, but the right guys, if you're a goal scorer like Philip Goodrum, you know how to create your own space, and found just enough of a pocket there to get on the end of a great service from Jake Morris and give the visitors a lead. And then again, Louisville City, I think they expect to come out and take all 3 points, whatever roster they put on the field, and they're in the driver's seat after 45 minutes here tonight.
Right, battles won in the boxes, as they say, and that's the final whistle there in the first half. That'll take us to halftime here at Toyota Field. 1-0, Louisville City leading the way. Stick around, more coming up during the halftime break.
Do. If you won a big jackpot, buy a new car, take a vacation, pay off your house, turn your dreams into reality at Texas' premier entertainment destination, Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino Hotel in Eagle Pass, Texas.
Hi, sports fans. I'm Jeff Davis. Going head-to-head with insurance companies is no easy game. It requires determination, gamesmanship, and grit. That's why you need Davis Law Firm on your side. With over 25 years' experience, our team of around 150 in 7 Texas cities has a winning track record of verdicts and settlements, many in the millions of dollars. And just like your favorite team, we play to win. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or commercial vehicle accident, call us at 444-4444. So if you want more, call the 4s.
I'm gonna be late.
Sorry.
And drive safe out there as there's plenty of traffic heading to today's big game. Ready to go.
You almost missed the start of the game.
Right now, qualified lessees can lease a new 2024 Tundra SR5 for $439 a month for 36 months. Offer ends November 4th.
Então, a língua para mim foi um desafio. Nunca falei inglês na minha vida, é a primeira vez. Então, foi um desafio muito grande. Procurei sempre estar com meus amigos, conversar para entender. E me mover para cá foi um desafio que eu criei para mim. Acho que eu estava muito confortável, vivendo muito tempo em Portugal. E quando apareceu esse desafio, essa chance de vir para cá, eu criei isso em mim e vim com um novo desafio. Nos conhecemos através do Abu, o jogador que jogava aqui, num jogo da Pre-Season. Nos conhecemos, conversamos, trocamos nossos números e a partir daí a gente criou uma relação muito grande e eles me ajudaram a me adaptar aqui, a me sentir mais em casa. E ter alguém que fale a nossa língua, que nos entenda, ainda mais em um país diferente, acho que é muito importante para a adaptação. E eles nisso para mim foram muito importantes.
I started to come to games for San Antonio games like 2 years ago. I have a son. My son play also in the academy. Lucas moved here. He started the year, so we feel very, very happy, because we Brazilian we like to match, to talk. We really feel like we have a member of our family. I call him my son. He's my old son, and that's been espetacular.
A minha relação com a família é uma relação realmente de família, né? Eu me senti abraçado, me sinto como um filho, sinto que tem um irmãozinho ali também. Então eu sou muito grato por terem me aceitado na família deles, por me deixarem confortável, por me abraçarem aqui nesse desafio. E momento especial, acho que todos os momentos que eu tenho com eles são especiais, porque são pessoas que me fazem bem aqui, que me fazem feliz, mesmo nos momentos que eu estou mais triste, mesmo nos meus desafios. Eles estão sempre ali comigo. Eu acho que todos os momentos que estamos juntos são muito especiais. Mas eu tenho 2 que são especiais para mim. Foi meu primeiro gol aqui, que eles estavam lá, dediquei para eles. E tem vários momentos especiais também que eu acho, são quando a gente vai assistir nosso irmãozinho jogar ali. Acho que é um momento especial da família, que se diverte muito. Ele também fica muito feliz. Desde do meu primeiro jogo aqui na Pre-Season, de portas abertas, eu vi que aqui os fãs abraçam muito o clube, vivem muito o clube, isso para mim é muito importante. Então, desde a primeira vez que eu pisei ali, eu pisei no gramado, meu primeiro jogo, as primeiras sensações ali sempre foram incríveis, sempre me trataram super bem. Então, para mim está sendo uma experiência incrível representar o San Antonio, representar essa torcida incrível, e eu espero poder ajudar muito ainda o San Antonio e todos os fãs. Então, a mensagem que eu quero deixar é que podem contar muito comigo, muito com o Lucas, como pessoa, como atleta, que toda vez que eu puder entrar, que eu puder ajudar, que eu tiver 100%, eu vou dar o meu melhor. Vou dar o meu melhor pelo San Antonio, vou dar o meu melhor pelos fãs. E é isso. Acho que vocês podem contar aqui com um atleta que nunca vai desistir, que vai dar sempre o seu melhor, sempre focado, sempre feliz.
Is it somebody's birthday?
Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata. Dad!
When Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it. We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Welcome to Do or Die. Welcome to stories that give meaning to it all. The juggernaut chasing history. The hero hoping for a Hollywood ending. The upstart determined to make the most of its shot at glory. Welcome to second guessing everything. Every coach's decision. Every referee's call. Every pass, shot, tackle, save. Because you know it all means more now. Welcome to the playoffs.
The mosquitoes show up? So do we. Terminix it.
Yeah, shit. I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead.
It's halftime here at Toyota Field. Louisville City FC leading the way 1-0. Welcome back to the booth. Katie Goodman here, joined by Dan Weiss. Dan, there was a lot of back and forth. San Antonio had a lot of looks, but it was Louisville City FC who got the goal.
Yeah, I think SAFC is going to look back on a first half where they created a lot, but unfortunately weren't able to come up with anything. And as you pointed out, that's kind of been the story of their season. They find a way to create chances, but they're unable to put it into the back of the net. And going against a lot of changes on a Louisville City squad. They got off on their front foot pretty good early. A couple of chances here. The header wide by Kendall Burks, and again, just multiple opportunities in the final third. They couldn't finish. Some good defending here, good recovering by Kendall Burks, Mitchell Tainer. They were marking Philip Goodrum for most of that first half. Did a pretty good job. Had a couple of chances, one right there outside the box that he put over goal. I thought this was the one SAFC should have capitalized on, the turnover in the back third, but unfortunately, Reese Buckmaster sent it wide, and here's the goal. Philip Goodrum, just a little bit of space, wins the duel over Buckmaster, heads it in, his 8th goal of the year, 3rd with Lou City. And that comes at the end of a pivotal first half for San Antonio FC as they're down 1-0 after 45 minutes. And in a night where they really need all 3 points, right now they just need a goal to get themselves back to even.
Right, they've done a lot of things well, but what matters is putting it in the back of the net. It felt like things were starting to heat up there for Louisville City FC. It felt like a matter of time. San Antonio, they have to shut down that momentum as it's beginning to build. But hey, let's look at the stats, because stats will show us the possession difference and also the shots between San Antonio and Louisville City here. What do you see, Dan?
I think both these clubs, they like to cross the ball, and I think if you looked at kind of the numbers coming in, they both like to run outside on the right flanks there. Turns out it was set pieces that ended up being the difference, but I mean, it's been a pretty even match. Like I said, I think SAFC has done better in creating the chances, but Louisville City has got 82 goals for a reason. It's because they've got guys who can put it in the back of the net. Philip Goodrum was able to do that there at the end of the half.
Yeah, we're seeing some really quality stuff there from them, but at the end of the day, there's still a battle ahead here for San Antonio FC, fighting like their life depends on it. What needs to happen going into the second half?
I think they still have to go out and play with the same approach and the same sense of urgency. I like that part of it. I'm curious how Danny Cruz is going to treat the second half. Is he going to let this group run as long as they can go, or is he going to go back to some of his more established first-team type players and give them some run in the second half? Because obviously that could change things as well from an attacking standpoint for Louisville, putting in some more dangerous players.
That's right. They still have a plethora of talent there on the bench. We'll stick around. We've got scores around the league coming up here next. Again, Louisville City leading the way 1-0.
$7 each? That's crazy. Or am I crazy?
Seeing sevens? It's a sign to order from Pizza Hut's $7 deal lovers menu.
Who can tell me what they want to be when they grow up? Rico?
Are you seriously gonna have nachos for all?
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine.
When your family is growing, we're here for you throughout your pregnancy with just the right care and support for you, for your baby, as your family welcomes your newest little ray of sunshine.
Dear Texas, we know how much you love brisket. We got you. We took mouth-watering brisket, slowly pit-smoked for 12 hours, and combined it with your favorite queso and pico. And so, H-E-B Brisket Queso was born. Because that's how we express our love. Looks like you got the message. Brisket Queso. To Texas with love from H-E-B.
It was tax season in Dallas. Late one night, an accountant made a large deposit at Frost Bank. But it was meant for Other Bank. No problem. The next morning, a Frost banker took it to Other Bank and made the deposit for him? Really?
It happened.
Who does that? Those are some nice people.
1-0 here at the half. Louisville City leading the way. We've got a lot going on around the league. Scores happening left and right here this Saturday afternoon. FC Tulsa falling behind Hartford Athletic 2-1. El Paso Locomotive all tied up with Sac Republic. And then later in the evening, that's where things are really going to get tricky. Monterey Bay FC, Colorado Springs Switchbacks. And then the game that we're all looking for, if you're a San Antonio FC fan, Las Vegas Lights FC, Oakland Roots SC. San Antonio needs Oakland to lose that one to really stay alive. Stick around. We got a lot of soccer coming up here next. Again, Louisville City FC leads the way.
When you shop or donate at Goodwill, you help create good jobs in our community. Visit goodwillsa.org/goodjob. Good job, everyone.
I'm gonna be late.
And drive safe out there as there's plenty of traffic heading to today's big game.
You almost missed the start of the game.
Right now, qualified buyers get 2.99% APR financing for 72 months on a rugged new 2024 Tundra. Offer ends November 4th.
When you shop or donate at Goodwill, you help create good jobs in our community. Visit goodwillsa.org/goodjob. Good job, everyone.
Started the second half here at Toyota Field. 1-0, Lou City leading the way. Of course, physicality early on from San Antonio. Tosh will take the set piece, trying to get in behind that back line. Denied here by Kendall Burks. Katie Goodman here, joined by Dan Weiss. Welcome back. We've got a lot going on here, Dan. Quite the bit of chaos here for San Antonio FC, fighting like their lives depend on it. They've got to win, or that's the end of their season for them.
Yeah, San Antonio FC, I mean, a loss wouldn't be the death knell. They would just basically be at a 1-point elimination number. They would need Oakland Roots to fall away tonight at Las Vegas. San Antonio FC really needs all 3 points. They're going to find a way to get a goal here.
Jorge Hernandez looking for Lucho there, denied. Turns into a corner. They've done a really good job of earning those corner kick opportunities. It's converting them into goals is the challenge. Let's see if Jorge Hernandez can do that here. He puts it in. Lucho tries to get the flick on. Denied here from Lou City. Philip Goodrum, Evan Davila working to dribble out of pressure there. Gets taken down. Tactical foul there from Nelson Flores Blanco to stop the play. We'll look back at this. Definitely puts a body on it.
And he's lucky, I think, again, Nelson Flores Blanco is going to walk out of that without getting booked by the center referee. No changes for either side, Katie, here as we start things in the second half. San Antonio FC don't have a ton of attacking options on the bench. They got Jake LaCava and Hugo up top. I figure Shannon Gomez will make an appearance at some point. He always finds a way to figure into the match. But Louisville City has just a plethora of attacking players at their disposal on the bench if they so choose to use them here, including Wilson Harris, who we touched on at the top of the broadcast, who's second in the Golden Boot race with a team leading 17 goals.
Really an impressive powerhouse of a team. Quite the matchup here for San Antonio. But I will say this feels like some of the better soccer that we've seen from San Antonio. Yes, they're trailing, but I think they're playing a lot of their better ball here. They've learned to adapt to a changing lineup game after game, and maybe that's working to their advantage here. Lots of hands on the back of Luis Solignac, but it's not going to be a call there from the ref. Louisville City continues to move forward, looking for the feet of Evan Davila. Attack begins to build. Carter Manley stands him up. No good.
That's a foul. That's going to be a foul in a dangerous spot right there. Carlos Mogul is going to earn the foul right outside the 18-yard box. And you hear Alan Marcina. He's not happy with the lack of no foul called when Luis Solignac was trying to earn one on a duel back on the SAFC side.
Really tough spot to give up a set piece. I understand wanting to delay the play and stop possession, but didn't really have a ton of good looks moving forward. Don't know if that was a time or place, but either way, that's neither here nor there, as it's like Niall McCabe is going to have a go at it. Between Niall McCabe, Philip Goodrum, Jake Morris. Again, there's so much power in this attack here, Dan. You really can't just mark one person. Quite the lineup here in the wall.
Yeah, well, this direct, you're just trying to curve it around the wall and find a home inside the post. It's your best ball striker who's got some touch from this spot.
And it's just shy there. Pablo Cisniega still making that diving effort. I think probably would have been in the vicinity of handling that ball had it bent a little shy inside the post, but no good there for Niall McCabe.
Yeah, it was deflected, took a deflection right off the head there of Reese Buckmaster and went wide of the cage. And
so the wall doing exactly what the wall is meant to do in that situation.
Third corner for Lou City here. Their goal coming on the set piece corner at the end of the first half.
It's placed in and just bounces over the 5. Again, a really dangerous set piece.
Well, there were two players in the vicinity who could have knocked that ball in, first on the header, and then it was Goodrum at the back post who literally could have tapped it in as it ran by him.
Probably going to kick themselves later on those misses. Pretty close ones, but breakaway here from Nelson Flores Blanco. Tosh doing a great job standing him up and seeing it out. Just couldn't quite put the brakes on there.
I think Alan Marcina's group, as this match wears on a little bit, they're going to have to take a few more chances. They're going to have to press the defenders up a little bit more into the attacking third here.
And that's such a tough risk to take, too, because in that you take the chance of leaving a gap open in the back with a team who loves to get out in transition. But what can you do, right?
You need to find a way to score.
Jake Morris sends it in. Nobody there to find it, but Philip Goodrum really close by. It's still in a dangerous spot. Still no out of the clear. Oh, ref interferes with Niall McCabe. He still continues to move. Places it in.
And that's
no man's land.
That's where Louisville City has been dangerous all year. Those ball recoveries over there on the right side, outside the box, and that's what Taylor Davila is so good at. So good at ball recoveries in the attacking third, where they can recycle over there with Aiden McFadden and then send service into the box for guys like Wilson Harris, Ray Serrano, and Adrian Perez. That's what they've been doing all season long. It's not the same group, but it's the same idea in terms of the attack.
It's the second ball that they're really good at. Breakaway here from Sam Gleedle. Continues to drive it forward. Misses the goal there. Looks like he didn't pick his head up on that one. But great work from Carter Manley just to show him to the side. Ball continues in play. Or not, excuse me. Out of play here.
John Morrissey does a great job covering USL, this site USL Tactics, and he had a great piece on Taylor Davila a couple weeks ago and talking about that exact fact, the ball recoveries and how good of a job he has done this year. 94th percentile in terms of his ball recovery rate, whether it's in the attacking third, the defending third, or the midfield. There's a giveaway there by Lou City.
San Antonio tries to make something here of the chaos. It's quite a scramble. Shut down there by Ordonez. Still not out of the clear. Going back to Davila, has a younger brother, Evan Davila, who is playing in that winger role. Been quite dangerous as well, but as we look back at this here.
Evan Lambert trying to win the ball and just can't find a way there. We get our first sub of the match here as Mashop Cho will come out and Hugo will come on. And there's Hugo got the equalizing goal in Colorado Springs last Saturday night before Lucho got the winner in second half stoppage time. And both of Hugo's goals this year have been against Colorado Springs.
Again, Hugo stepping up in key moments when San Antonio needs him most. That key piece off the bench here for San Antonio. He's going to have to put in some next level work here to turn things around. Almost effective there, creating a combination. Nelson puts it in. You got Reese Buckmaster to put it back in the mix. And just no good there from Lucho. So close. Good idea to turn the body and direct the ball to the goals, just over that post line.
A nice volley there, and you know, it was amazing that Salignac was able to create a little bit of space there amongst three defenders to get on the end of that volley and still get an attempt off. There was another sub, Katie, by the way, for SAFC at the half. We missed it. Sofian Jafal did come on in place of Luke Hawkinson, so Jafal is on, Hawkinson is off at the end of the half, and then we just saw Hugo come on. There's Jafal, he's on for the 20th time this season and his 8th appearance since joining SAFC from Orange County.
San Antonio just trying to get some fresh legs in there to keep things moving along. It's tough running that high press mentality and intensity in your game model, game plan to create chaos. It's tough. On the body.
Hawkinson's been dealing with some nagging lower body injuries as well here in this final month. It's been a grueling year for SAFC.
And a shot here, just shy of the post again. Carter Manley almost there to save it. Could have also caused some problems as well. But don't blink here. Jake Morris. Really close look there from him.
Yeah, I think Morris was actually expecting Carter Manley perhaps to redirect this into his own net. Didn't look like with that strike that he was going for goal. He's way off there on that shot. And I think he's trying just to create a little bit of havoc from the defender, and it turns into a corner.
Yeah, I mean, did such a great job of getting into that space and getting the look. Maybe had there been a timely run, it could have worked, but not in this case. Ball goes into the mix. Cisniega sees it up and over.
Cisniega lands hard on his lower back, and he's dealt with some lower back issues this season.
Cisniega's been an absolute champion there for San Antonio FC in the net. As you can see, he punches it out, and then, ooh, it's that landing there on the hip. Had 11 saves on Wednesday at El Paso, 5 versus Colorado Springs. Ended up on the Team of the Week roster. Single game club record for those 11 saves on Wednesday. So San Antonio has been putting him to work, to say the least.
And some of the saves he had in Colorado Springs were world class.
Louisville again trying to be cheeky and get something going here. Corners starting to add up. A team that really plays for the set piece. Niall McCabe set to take this cross in. Will it find anybody? And it's a no. Kevin Lambert sends it out wide, still not out of danger. Louisville City continues. Not through the brick wall here of San Antonio FC. Hugo working into the attack on a breakaway. He's got Jorge Hernandez there up top to help him. And well defended there from Carlos Mogul Jr.
Yeah, it's a great recovery. You got Jorge Hernandez running off here and Hugo looking to do something, and that's a great step up by Carlos Mogul winning the ball. Mogul's one of 5 guys that have graduated from the Louisville City Academy on their pathway to a pro. Maybe the most famous of that group is Joshua Winder, who's the younger brother of Elijah Winder, who's not with the club here tonight, but Winder signing a transfer with European powerhouse Benfica last year.
As San Antonio begins to build up, Jorge Hernandez one-on-one with the keeper. He stands him up. He has a go, and it's over. And again, another corner kick here for San Antonio. Jorge not wasting any time to get out there to that corner. All hands on deck here, moving into this box. As you can see, he does a great job to commit the defender. But it's that final tackle that denies him the shot.
Let's see if Jorge can get a little bit more lift on this one towards the back. The referee is going to step in here before Hernandez delivers this second corner.
Bit of pushing and shoving behind the scenes as well between Tainer and Tosh. Both with a lot to say. Jorge Hernandez. And goal, San Antonio! Kevin Lambert raises fans out of their seats and on their feet.
Well, they got exactly what they wanted. Louisville City got the scoring started on a set-piece corner in the first half, and here's San Antonio FC with their best set-piece player, Jorge Hernandez, and he's able to find a runner into the box, and Kevin Lambert. And we're all knotted up at 1 here with a half hour to play.
Always in the right place at the right time. Kevin Lambert gives him his 3rd goal of the season. Also has an assist under his belt. Had a goal against Monterey Bay FC and 1 versus Oakland, and 1 here where it really, really counts. San Antonio back in it, back alive. And what did we say, Dan? These teams love playing late in the game.
Alan Marcina given a yellow.
San Antonio's favorite Canadian. Not afraid to show a bit of fire there on the sideline. It's like a tumble there in the middle of the field. Lou City almost able to make a counter here off the kickoff. Looked like an accidental collision there as things were getting started. Would have to see it back.
Jorge Hernandez, that's his 9th assist of the season. It'll pull him back into a tie in the Golden Playmaker race with Noah Fuson of Rhode Island FC. It's his 19th assist in San Antonio, and it's his 30th career assist in USL Championship.
Such a special piece there for San Antonio. Really, I think the glue of this team, who's held things together for so long. This one is going to go in San Antonio's favor. Putting it back into play, trying to build out of the back here. What a great run, but well defended. Things starting to move again here for San Antonio, really wanting that insurance goal. Looking to bring it in from the corner, so hard to get through when there's so much congestion here, but they stay patient. Louisville City sitting back. Sofiane Jafal loses it. Hugo trying to make up for it. Battle continues. It's a yellow for Sofiane as well. Tensions running high out here.
San Antonio's been amongst the leaders all season in fouls conceded and continue to rack up the cautions. That's their 95th caution of the season. As Jafal goes into the books for the 5th time this year.
Louisville City will reset. These are the moments where the 50-50s are really important. Mitch Tainer winning a good chunk of those there on that left side. Ball is up. Can he get numbers up with him? Question is, how can San Antonio keep this ball here from really getting out of this tight pocket here on the right side?
I do think part of the calculation for Danny Cruz tonight with the group that he's running out with, and you mentioned it earlier, he's trying to, at the same time, give his club some rest. He's also trying to avoid a possible injury this late in the season in what theoretically is kind of a meaningless match for his group.
Right, he must know that, San Antonio FC being the really physical team that they are, they're going to come out guns blazing, as we're seeing here. A lot of yellows, a lot of fouls, and a lot of aggression.
Yeah, another foul here. This one's on Lou City. Mogul brings down his man. But yeah, I keep kind of looking over here, and now finally he's starting to call over some subs, and I was thinking, well, how long is he going to let this group play for? And finally now he's gone to his bench here, and he's starting to bring over the subs, and he's going to start to get them ready.
Ready to turn the dial up here in San Antonio. Ball in from Jorge Hernandez. Carter Manley flying in, but just misses. It's going to be a tricky throw in here for San Antonio. Reese Buckmaster going to collect. Looking for a look in the box. Beautiful header there from Ordonez, showing it out. And again, just a scuffle here. Quite the jersey pull there against Carter Manley, but no call. San Antonio finds their way out of pressure. Jorge Hernandez, magician with the ball at his foot, continues to lose defenders. Almost loses the ball himself, sends it backside, but it's just a little bit short.
That was unfortunate for all the work Jorge put in. That just couldn't get enough English on that ball.
Sometimes you do all that magic and your legs are dead and don't get the oomph you need on the ball. Buckmaster almost able to get there. I think wise to allow the corner opportunity. Didn't exactly have a clear look at goal.
Yeah, the goal certainly has woken up SAFC, and it's woken up the fan base here at Toyota Field and San Antonio FC. And I think they can feel another one here.
Jorge Hernandez looks for a San Antonio jersey. Denied here by Damian Loss. Still, they continue. Ball back in the mix. Tainer. Hugo. Again, the magician himself sends it to Tainer to the 5. But good sticky gloves there from Damian Loss.
Looks like it's going to be the 3 strikers up top are going to be, it's going to almost be, I believe, a line change here, Katie, as you take a look at the save from Damian Loss. But Wilson Harris, Ray Serrano, and Adrian Perez all appear getting ready to come on here.
About to be an absolute handful here for San Antonio. It makes you wonder how that might change things for them. They seem really confident getting up high, leaving some players open in the back. Things are just really heating up for him there. I mean, so intelligent there for Coach Cruz to stop some of that momentum by bringing in these amazing guys.
I don't think I've ever seen that before, where it's a full, in your formation, you take out all 3 of your guys up top in one instance, if that's indeed what's going to happen here as it appears. This is going to be a foul on Jafal, and he's got to be careful, already sitting on a yellow.
I think it would make sense if, you're trying to, we'll have a look at this really quick, and just a little bit too much on the back. Nothing too nasty or aggressive, though, that's for sure. But I think if you're going to sub out the guys up top, you might as well sub in the guys who have been working really well together nonstop, are used to having time together, versus maybe plugging and playing 1 or 2, especially if your goal here is to take away 3 points. Of course, Wilson Harris, the guy to watch, coming to the line here. Niall McCabe sends it in. Pablo Cisniega there to collect. Uncontested. Tries to get it up and over. Jorge Hernandez trying to make the counter. Defended there by Sam Gleedle. Just working to get back and cover where he can.
So here come 26 goals into the match in the form of Wilson Harris, Adrian Perez, and Ray Serrano, as Goodrum, Gleedle, and Davila will all come off. It's a 3-for-3 sub. You take out your 3 up top, and you put the 3 who've been your workhorse all season, and trying to find a winner for the visitors here in the last 20 minutes.
Louisville City FC also a team not without injury. Brian Ownby, a guy that they lost early in season, had surgery, count him out, was the all-time leader in assists. But of course, this talent here with Louisville City able to make up for that. Multiple guys, including Adrian Perez, McFadden, and Davila, accounting for 18 assists this season.
Fortunate there for Kevin Lambert here, and now that sets up a kind of a sneaky little counter off the throw-in. Ray Serrano with a first touch. There's Perez over on the far side.
Perez, and then followed with the late run here. You can see how much more dynamic this attack is. Lots of movement there up top. Tricky to follow, especially as a back line. It's one way to really disorganize things.
And that group's already expended a lot of energy for San Antonio tonight.
Mitch Tainer takes the throw, trying to get that out of danger. Goes right to the head of Tosh, sending it back down. Wilson Harris somehow able to keep it alive. Really adding that physical touch here, I think, also on offense. Mitch Tainer, another huge key piece here for San Antonio. Defender of the year back in 2022. It's all league first team as well. Team of the week 6 times so far this season, has an assist. 3rd in the league for distribution. And most appearances in club history. Contains and moves it over to the left there for Nelson Flores Blanco. Looking for a red jersey. Hugo keeping it alive. Doing well to keep pace here, San Antonio. Trying to build out of pressure. You can see they're trying to dump it there behind the back line. Unsuccessful there. Maybe there's a switch. Instead, they continue down that left side. Looking here for Flores Blanco. He sends it in. Is anyone on the end of it? Jorge Hernandez looking for backside. Kevin Lambert there takes a shot. Just doesn't get over it. Skies it there. Airmail.
Not a bad idea. He had to take it first time. I think if he settles, he's not going to get the window, but obviously that ball's got way too much lift on it.
Yeah, you can see the bounce. There's no way to really control it from that angle, but you're right, Dan. He has to take it first time. There in the challenge to win that one. San Antonio's going to get it again there. Pace picking up here. Stakes draw higher. All the pressure there from Ordonez on Lucho. Sends him to the ground.
Yeah, and Seliniak, you know, that's what he does so good. He's got that frame that when he's protecting the ball like that, just so much strength that more times than not, he's going to draw a foul. And smart enough to know, too, where he is on the field, that he gets that foul in that situation. He's setting up a pretty good set-piece opportunity for his group.
Yes, really high IQ player. Definitely knows what he's doing in tight situations. Sofian Jafal is going to take the kick on this one. Maybe looking backside. That he does. Kendall Burks looks to find it. Instead, well defended there by Sean Tosh.
And that ball kind of tailed off on Jafal. Burks was able to keep it kind of moving and in play and forcing a throw here. But it was moving away from goal.
San Antonio earning themselves another corner there. Again, doing a good job to just continue this onslaught of pressure. It really feels like they haven't taken their foot off the gas. Even when that goal was scored, yes, there was a tiny bit of momentum going there for Louisville City, but not a ton. Jafal sends it in. Does it almost finds the head of Carter Manley. Goes the wrong direction. They continue to try to build. There to collect. Kendall Burks with a tricky little back heel, just not good.
And then that's kind of what I said about, you know, SAFC needing to take risks and, you know, putting guys in positions you don't normally see. You never see Kendall Burks at the corner of the box trying to make a play and set up. But again, you got a quarter hour. You need to find a winner here.
But he did a great job to build out of pressure. I mean, look at that back heel magic. And then the chip in, it wasn't a bad idea. It was just a little off the mark. Good redirect there from Kevin Lambert. Lucho trying to win that battle. Arturo Ordonez laying it all out. And a quick restart here for Louisville City. Pablo Cisniega almost looked caught off guard there from that back pass, but luckily up and forward.
Aiden McFadden coming over to the bench, and looks like Louisville City going to try to go for a winner here in these last few minutes. And
almost a good tackle there from Jorge Hernandez, but looks like Ordonez has something going on with the hand.
Yeah, I don't know if he got stepped on, but it looks like he's got some blood here. Yeah, he's coming off.
Fortunate there for Louisville City. Question is, are they throwing somebody in his place? They're going to wait it out, get it wrapped, and throw him back in. A lot of pink jerseys coming off. McFadden going to the center line. Has done such a great job as a winger there on the side. Really dangerous with Adrian Perez. The pressure that they can put on the flanks and up into the attack. Asking him to do a lot here in the 77th minute.
So for the time being, they're playing Louisville City a man down right now with Ordonez off. And I guess waiting to see whether he's going to come back or not. In the interim, they'll slide Jake Morris back down.
Wonderful counter here from Louisville City. Lots of options. Kevin Lambert doing good to get back, but not out of danger yet. Jensen has a look. It's denied by Burks. Hugo there to contain it. Looking for a red jersey. He's going to go with the big switch here for Lucho. And look at that first touch. He continues to build. Jorge Hernandez running and crashing the box. Instead, they get the corner. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, that was a great ball, and so now McFadden's going to come on, and it will be Ordonez off to get them back to even. That's a dynamite ball from Hugo. What a touch from Lucho, and is able to, even though he can't find something inside the box, able to earn a corner out of it and another set piece, and that might not be a bad idea for SAFC as Shannon Gomez making his way back to the SAFC bench.
Hernandez puts it in. And it's cleared here by Louisville City, not till Nelson tries to finish the job. Unsuccessful. I think what I liked about Hugo's service in was that he didn't go for the obvious pass, which was Jorge Hernandez right there. Still could have potentially gotten shut down. He went for the bigger cross, and it worked out. Really, could have worked out really well. Damian Loss sends it in. Kevin Lambert doing a really good job to win those defensive headers. Lucho with the break. A little bit too much pace. A bit too much pace on that ball there from Hugo. And another Louisville City player down.
That's Toch. That's a good idea again, though, from Hugo. And you can see him and Seleniak have, these last weeks, started to develop a little bit of a chemistry together. So Ordonez is able to come back to the bench, and he appears he's going to be okay, and it's a good sign for Louisville City. He's as valuable to their back three as anyone.
I was going to say if there was a time to score, it would have been then, as he was getting his hand wrapped up. Have a look back at it here again. So you see just a tough challenge in the air there. A little bit too much pace on that ball from Hugo. Ball back into play. And again, Kevin Lambert just really dominating on the defensive headers. I think San Antonio could use some improvement on the offensive side, winning those and getting a quality flick on and possession from there. But Louisville City continues. Carter Manley shuts it down. Ray Serrano unsuccessful. But man, just in that one blip, you can see his speed, his prowess.
This was good from Lou City here. Just a couple of quick touches right inside the box, and like Serrano even might have gotten away with a handball there.
Some next level movement from them. I mean, even after the ball's played, you still see guys moving and finding passing lanes. Really pretty stuff. Lou City sends it in here. Ball's loose and sent away here by Hugo. Scary moment there for Pablo Cisniega.
Yeah, he's out of position as Shannon Gomez will come on here for Reese Buckmaster. These final 10 minutes. This is a great job, though, by Lou City on this last corner to keep this ball in play. I mean, it was sitting right out there. Cisniega was out. They're just unfortunate they don't have a white jersey to knock it in. But Shannon Gomez will come on to give you 10 hard minutes here.
If anyone can do it, it is him. He has an engine that does not stop. A little bit too much excitement there from Lou City. Wes Sharpie sending it a little long. sure eager here as the minutes count down to really make something happen. This is what I mean, winning those offensive headers and 50-50s. Shannon Gomez, shoulder in, fights for that ball, gonna get called on it. Oh, not gonna get the call on it, but aggressive enough to stop the play.
Yeah, this is what you're talking about with Shannon Gomez. He's got an engine that doesn't quit, and he's battling to the last moment with Jake Morris for that ball. Zamadou Dia will come on here now.
Again, another key piece there for Louisville City from Nantes, France. Played at Sporting KC in the MLS. It's his third season here with Lou City. And again, another close call there for San Antonio. It's feeling like, despite all the substitutions and efforts that Lou City has made, that San Antonio continues with this momentum.
I mean,
really a nice flick, just a little too far away from the post.
Yeah, Celine, like, he's got a gift. Finding a way to get on the end of services in space and headers on balls.
Looks like a limp there from Mitch Tainer, looking to get some assistance and relief as Win Bickler comes in to take the stage. What a fight there for Mitch Tainer. Has pushed through injury all season long. You can see he really pushed it to the brink there. Richard Win Bickler coming in. Been a few games since we've seen the number 40 and having to fill some big shoes. Before we continue, United Way, in the aftermath of both hurricanes Helene and Milton, the USL has partnered with United Way Suncoast to help the Tampa Bay area recover from devastation the storm left behind. To learn how you can get involved, scan the QR code or visit www.uslsoccer.com/Milton to ensure individuals and families have the access to the resources they need to recover. Louisville City continues on. Perez with a look. Kindleberg's not quite able to clear it out. Looks like it's out of danger there for San Antonio.
SAFC down to their last 5 minutes and whatever added time here. I don't think a draw is going to be good enough tonight. I really do think they need all 3 points to keep the pressure on Oakland Roots later on. In the current table, a draw for SAFC would mean that if Oakland Roots comes away with a win, San Antonio FC would be eliminated. And again, they lose the tiebreaker to both Orange County and Phoenix, so the max they could get to in a draw situation is 42, which is exactly what Orange County and Phoenix has. So a draw by San Antonio would actually clinch a playoff berth for both Orange County and Phoenix.
And you know they must be thinking of this during this time, just how much weight is on their shoulders right now, trying to catalyze that into success and efficiency and goals to continue seeing their way into the postseason. Louisville City determined to not let that happen. Rico's Fan Appreciation Theme Night. We want to celebrate you, the fans, with a fun night and exciting surprises. SAFC's Fan Appreciation Night, presented by Rico's, is on October 26th. Get your ticket today for the last home SAFC match of the season. You can't help but wonder how San Antonio is going to respond here. Again, Mitch Tainer off the field. Slightly disorganized back line. You see they're paying for it here. Carter Manley doing well to cover that space, leave his mark and shut things down there on the left side, but not something that can continue to happen for the remainder of the game. fear of getting exposed there on the other side.
Yeah, without Tainer on the left flank, it certainly does leave a hole. And Jansen Wilson able to get to this opportunity here.
Carter Manley, just an absolute world-class defender. Ball in. Bickler, good to see it out there.
Oh, that's dangerous. And somehow Pablo Cisniega able to sneak around Wilson Harris for the ball.
My goodness, so quick off his line. Ran through him like he didn't exist. The ball in there to Hugo. Looking for a backside as Lucho won't make it there. We've got Nelson Flores as well. And a big switch. Denies Shannon Gomez there on that one. So tough for San Antonio. A lot of players not available, especially on the defensive side. Bonnie, one of them who filled in for Kendall Burks, did a really great job. Also sitting out with injury at the moment. Despite it all, San Antonio continues to fight. Some good movement here from San Antonio. Sofian Jafal creating a little bit of disorganization. Backside, looking for Nelson. Goes into the hands of the keep. Nelson holding his back there. Ball in there from Jorge Hernandez.
Yeah, not a bad idea. And Nelson Flores Blanco, he's marked so well. He does all he can to get up and make something out of that.
Bit of a close call there for Pablo Cisniega. Gets it out, no problems. Almost looked like a handball. Ref won't call it. Lucho looking to get in behind, but no good. Jafal has a switch on. Instead, he goes up that left flank. McFadden well to defend it out. McFadden previously played for Atlanta United before coming over to Lou City. You can see that MLS experience. Jorge trying to get out of trouble. Hugo takes a shot.
Oh, smart there. Smart by the defender. Recognized his keeper coming out, secure the ball, settle everybody down.
Yes, good stuff. I mean, not many red jerseys in sight there to pick up on that deflection. Damian Loss not wasting any time to get that ball up and forward.
Not a lot of added time, just 4 minutes here. Added time at the end of the second half.
4 minutes for San Antonio to have a little bit more control over the narrative moving into playoffs. Still really a great performance here from San Antonio, a team who's turned things around, been unbeaten in the last 3 games. Really hoping to do the same again here. Kendall Burks easily picks that one up. Initially was looking for the switch, I think. Now trying to find a clean pass through. Switches on again. Nelson Flores with a quality first touch. Taking on the defender. Well defended there from Tosh. Sofian Jafal, what's he going to do with it? Looking for a cleaner seam here. It's not going to get it. Hands it to Magic Man Jorge Hernandez. Kevin Lambert, goal scorer. And there's the seam they're looking for there for Shannon. One touch from Lucho, and it bends just to the left. You could tell he didn't quite get the footing he wanted prior to the hit, but...
Well, they found that seam, though, and I didn't think they were. And they got to Shannon Gomez, and that opened it up for Solignac, and it was... I mean, it's as good a look as he's going to have, even from an angle there at the top of the box.
I think their patience has really been incredible here throughout this season. Not only the obvious challenges they've had to face, but even in game in moments like that where it's tight and tricky, I think earlier in the season you could see where they might force things or turn things over. Instead, they just stayed calm and composed.
And I think on most nights, a draw against the best team in the USL Championship is a win, except when it's down to the last 2 Saturdays of the regular season and you need all 3 points. And it'll be the rare occasion where a draw is just not going to feel good for San Antonio FC and their fans, because it puts them on the precipice of elimination later on tonight.
Thankfully, still not out of it. Anything can happen here. Lucho, just a little too far away from that, tries to force the keeper. Still a good win here for SAFC. Lucho trying to find a red jersey. You could tell he looked over his shoulder, was thinking about taking the shot. Sends it in. Can Nelson get to the end of it? He gets a touch on it, trying to make the turn here. Can't find anybody. Deflected from Louisville. The corner there for SAFC.
And they've done well in generating these corners tonight. It's their 8th corner, 5 of them here in the second half.
Jorge Hernandez. Ball is in the mix. It goes up and over. Looks like it's going to be another corner. Gets a do-over. Blue City, of course, not happy about it. Got Sofiane Jafal. Excuse me, you have Kendall Burks calling for it backside. But very well defended. Where is he going to place this ball? We'll have to see. Jorge Hernandez. Kevin Lambert has another goal with his head, but saved there. Damian Loss has done such a great job this entire game, just getting up to meet that ball, denying almost everything here from San Antonio. Kevin Lambert just finds the end of that ball every time, just not enough there to put it away.
Yeah, got what they wanted. Couldn't ask for a better look there. And be careful they don't give up one here at the end.
Therein lies the challenge. Both teams love late goals. San Antonio with 4 in 90 plus, 20 in the second half. The vast majority for Blue City also coming pretty late, but that's the final whistle. And that will do it there for San Antonio FC and Blue City FC tied here.
Yeah, unfortunate for the home side. You know, they gave a solid effort after the equalizing goal by Kevin Lambert. Had a couple of cracks at it to try to find a winner. But in the end, they have to settle for 1 point tonight. And so that reduces their tragic number to 2. And a victory tonight by Oakland Roots will eliminate San Antonio FC from playoff contention.
For Dan Weiss and our entire crew, I'm Katie Goodman saying so long from the Alamo City. Final score all tied up here in San Antonio. SAFC, Louisville City FC 1-1. This has been a presentation of the USL Championship and Spurs Sports and Entertainment. So long, everyone.
This copyrighted championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.